Last time on Fragged Empire Reclamation. Welcome to the Hebrixis sector, Milky Way, 100 years after the X-Ion War. On board the Reclamation, a group of fledgling explorers, doctors, soldiers, and capitalists set out to the unknown Black Nebulae at the behest of corporate benefactors. When the ship impossibly drops out of jump in orbit over an uncharted planet, it is ruthlessly attacked and boarded by the Mechanid assailants who glow with an uncommon red color. Our heroes take the stage in defending the vessel. Caswell and Cannon, the Kaltorans, Varian the Corporate, Gifka the Legion, and Dr. Talios, the menacing Alpha Nephilim, succeed in halting the mechanized advance, long enough to ensure evacuation, but not before the first meeting of these historically opposed species nearly comes to blows, with the ship exploding in orbit and the hapless escape pods hurtling toward an alien world. Can our heroes overcome their differences to survive? Or will their disagreements prove more dangerous than the unknown below? Find out on the next installment of Fragged Empire Reclamation.
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Oh, I can still hear Mike. Someone is listening on their speakers. Hey, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that intro. That was a special little treat that we put together. A good mate of mine, Mike, who is a VO actor. His name is Mike Hillard, if anyone's interested in finding his shit. He's everywhere.
It's the babe.
Yeah, it's the baby. So he did the intro for us. I think it turned out fabulously. He'll probably continue to do introductions for us. It gives everyone a great idea of what happened last week, because in the last fortnight, actually, I should say, because we did play this 2 weeks ago. But we're back for week 2 of Fragged Empire. Hey, someone needs to mute the stream, bros. There we go.
Someone who doesn't have particularly good headset mic combination.
Yeah. Anyways, warning in advance, it is full-on America week in San Francisco right now. There are jets flying everywhere. So expect to hear just the dumbest stuff just flying above me all day. So sorry in advance for any of that noise that might get through. But yeah, week 2 of Fragged Empire. Well, I might as well go around and introduce everyone. We are missing a player this week, unfortunately. Philip, who plays Varian, couldn't make it this week. He might be back next week. But the story will sort of allow for his missing person right now, so there's a good chance that we could slot him back in next week. But if not, I mean, we still have a full crew of 4 players, so we can go ahead with what we have. Starting from the left, we have Caleb, who'll be playing Gifka, and I believe that I've got your icons around the wrong way. Sorry about that, fellas. Let me just change it right now. Oop.
I made the same mistake because Graham's always the one naming his characters extravagantly.
Yep. Up next, we have Graham, who'll be playing Cannon, and then we have Jacob, who'll be playing Caswell. I will be playing Dr. Halls Talios, and GM for this evening, as always, is Mr. Wreckage.
Hi.
He will be pulling us out of the wreckage of the last episode. See what I did there? It was good, right?
That was really good.
That was really good, yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Oh, me too. And yeah, there's not much to say because we did an introduction already, Wreckage. Woo, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But why don't you fill in any of the missing details as to sort of right at the end of the last episode and what is happening?
So just for the sake of our players, even more so than our audience, you had just escaped the reclamation on escape pods, and the last few of you who had left were in fine position to see some sort of explosion racking through the belly of the ship and splitting open the cargo bays so that all of the precious cargo was being carried down on this tractor beam that you were stuck in. But then, while that seemed like a controlled and intentional explosion, another explosion ripped through the vessel, splitting it vertically in the middle, and the 2 halves of the ship went hurtling out of the tractor beam in descending orbits towards the planet. As a matter of fact, when this happens, when the ship breaks up and escapes the tractor beam via the inertia of the explosion, the tractor beam shortly thereafter shuts off, and that's where we leave off, or left off, and rejoin now with all of our heroes. You guys, in case you missed it.
Oh, I'm a hero? Oh, sweet.
what?
Yeah, well,
Damn.
anti-hero
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's.
We haven't really figured that one out yet.
Heroes in training.
That remains to be seen. Which of us are heroes?
These
No,
Pokemon trainers.
I've got my sheet right here. I'm ready to go.
You guys are hurtling towards the planet in escape pods. When the tractor beam shuts off, you regain the typically installed controls that you find on said escape pods.
What does that normally have? Like, what? Are
So
we
yeah,
looking
we're gonna actually run through that.
Okay.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but of the people that are here, the first person to leave the ship would have been Jacob as Caswell, because Canon described placing him in a pod and launching him off before launching
Yeah.
himself off.
And
Is
then
that accurate?
And then it was Cannon, and then it was Gifka. No, then it was me, then it was Gifka.
Yep.
And Canon was last out. As a
No,
matter of fact.
Gifka was lost out.
Yeah.
Gifka was out. Because God damn it. Graham, why did you name your guy a normal thing? Why did you name it a weird thing?
Why didn't you name it
What do
something
you
weird?
mean?
You normally name your character something weird, apparently.
No, well, no.
No, he's always got really creative and flowery names, and now I can't get it straight. Anyway, so yeah, Gifka would be last out. That means that the first person that we have to deal with is Caswell, Jacob.
Yes.
Caswell, you left the ship in an escape pod at a appropriately timed moment. In that it was at least a few minutes before the ship exploded. So good for you. But now, with the tractor beam shutting off when you're about 3/4 of the way to the surface of this planet, you suddenly find that you now, again, have control over the escape pod. The escape pod's got a little screen right where your face is. You sort of sit in it very much like a coffin, not to scare you or anything. And right where the lid is, where your face is, there's a screen and interface that automatically, typically turns on, feeds you instructions, and allows you to control the escape pod in a limited fashion. This turns on once the tractor beam is off.
Right.
And the first thing it does is it quickly runs through like crap, like in a way to describe it. There's like, scanning, location, distance from ship, situation. Like, it typically goes through a lot of things when you first launch, and it wasn't able to do any of them. So it quickly scrolls through to like, oh shit, we're about to crash into a planet. And it goes scanning surface and surface topography. Basically, it starts to load and take pictures of where you're going to land for the purpose of keeping you alive.
All right.
And what you see load up onto your little screen is this map that I took a very long time to create.
Ooh. Great.
Wow.
Alright, let me just swap to stage 2 real quick here. Alright, there we go. Okay, go ahead.
I recommend a zoomed outness of like 40%. That'll let you peruse it at its maximum visible pleasure.
All right.
This looks not at all like the nightmarish hellscape I was picturing.
Yeah, it's very tropical.
Yeah.
Why, yes, it is.
The tropics suck.
Okay.
All right. You have very crucial few seconds as you are very close to this. The escape pod is just trying to land any old place. that it deems safe, and for the escape pod that's basically not molten lava or like a bottomless ravine or the deepest part of the ocean. So it wants to land you in the green field surrounding what appears to be the source of the tractor beam. However, that may not be advised. Would you, in your precious few seconds, like to attempt to divert its path in any way?
Yes, I probably want to divert it over here. Did you guys get that ping?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah, it's up the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where that circle is. If you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Alright, I'd like to reach right over there, or as close as I can get.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Don't you laugh at me.
No, I'm sniffling.
Bracing myself.
I'm just
Oh God, what's happening?
I'm checking to see if there is a pilot specific skill. Because
There
are
is,
vehicle
yeah.
system skills.
No, there totally is. So,
but that section is just to go straight into acquisition instead of telling you how to do
okay,
that.
so
We are still deep. I want to remind the chat, especially if we have anybody new today, that this is a beta that we have been given the pleasure of sort of beta testing live on the stream. It's a complicated system, but it has payoff for that complication. We're still
So if I had to pick something there, Rick, I would probably pick command, and then you can maybe use a maneuver.
yeah, command maneuver that works for me. Yeah, we're still elbow deep in figuring out the system, so there will be times when we sit here and discuss, what's the appropriate rule?
Yeah.
And
So your role, Jacob, to work out how well you can maneuver to the space you want, would be your vehicle system skills, command, whatever that might be. So 3d6 plus your command, or minus your command. In my case, it's -2. In your case, it'll probably be -1 unless you took it.
Alright, wait, can you repeat that?
So on your character sheet, it's next to your primary skills.
Right.
You got to pick 2 of them. You either got to pick command, engineering, operations, or gunnery.
Oh yeah, I got command.
You got command, so that's a +1. So your roll would be 3d6 plus 1.
Or +2 because I automatically did one as a Kaltorum.
You got 1 as a command. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats.
no, as
Yep.
a Kaltoran, you have your Kaltoran bonus that you're talking. Wait, is it a command specifically, or are you talking about that?
Command specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's one of the
Kaltorans
two.
have a command.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have the same thing. That helps.
Okay.
And I also took a point into command, so
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a trained
Didn't-
skill, so you get
Yep.
+2.
yep.
So you want to do a maneuver, which is you turn. Wow, I have no idea what any of these skills are. So basically, it's size +10 for the skill. So whatever the size
So-
of the device is that we're
So wait,
commanding.
what is that What is that saying though?
It's the skill roll that you need to pass.
Oh,
No, this is going to be context based and not size based.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, like you could apply size to the life pod, for example.
right, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to set a difficulty.
Okay.
Because you're so close to the planet, you have so little time. I'm going to say to get all the way there is a 16, and
alright.
based on how close you get to 16 will be determine how far towards that location that you want to land in you go.
Alright. Let's do this. Oh, 3D dice, forgot about that.
I turned all that shit off, man.
It does slow things down,
Well-
but it's a lot of fun to watch.
12.
Okay. Now I need you to roll a 1d20.
4.
Let me just.
Fucking jets, man.
Oh, I thought that was in 20.
So you managed to at the last minute maneuver your escape pod. Its thrusters, maneuvering thrusters, burn into effect. It also has thrusters that are coming out of the front to slow your descent, so that the impact is not fatal. That's one of the things it does to keep you alive. But maneuvering thrusters turn on, and you begin to sail over the river. In fact, you make it well into the jungle in the just past the river,
Right.
and you see a patch of brownish, sandy-looking stuff, and that's clearly where you're about to make landfall, as opposed to crashing through a tree or into some rocks or something.
All right.
And with that resolved, just before impact, we're going to go to the next person who left the ship, and that would be Cannon, the security Kaltoran.
I did.
Cannon, you are slightly higher when this happens. When the tractor beam shuts off due to the explosion of the ship, giving you control of your escape pod once again. Your escape pod runs through the same sequence of events to catch up to. It's basically, we're going to make landfall. We have to make survival preparations. We're scanning a picture of the place where you're going to land. You get the same picture. Congratulations. This isn't a dimensional thing where you guys go to different maps or something. You now have control of your ship. You are also...
Can I see?
What do you mean, see?
Can I see the landscape?
No, you've got a screen. You don't have a window.
Oh.
So the screen scans the topography, is what its exact words, and poops out this little map. And it's planning on landing you, same as Caswell, in the.
Well, I guess since I can't see, I just let it do whatever it wants.
You get the picture of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's planning on landing you what appears to be right next to the source of the tractor beam due to its giant structureness and same red glow.
Oh, well, that didn't sound too good.
Like there.
Bad news. So what do I do?
So
Do I need to do anything? I can just let it happen?
So you can do exactly the same thing as Caswell was able to do, which is you have time to maneuver your escape pod somewhere else, if you so choose, via a roll.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go there.
Okay.
sound like your circle where you want to go.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know that he landed there, but that's probably where I would have gone.
I mostly just went there because there's a river between me and the thing.
Yeah, I kind of like this sumptuous kind of covery spot where he landed. That I know, even though I know where he landed, that's probably where I would go.
Okay, so you would try and go to the same place?
Yeah. The
Your
north.
escape pod was going slightly further south than his was, but you also have more time to make it, which is going to work out to the exact same difficulty.
Okay.
So that will be a 16 to make it all the way to where you want to land. Roll your command maneuver.
How about 19?
Oh,
Okay, so with a roll of 19, which is 3 over success, you don't have to roll a 1d20 like I made Caswell roll.
Oh
So
man, what is a 1d20 then?
you can describe to me exactly where you put down.
oh, that's what.
Yeah. Go ahead and I'm gonna be. Oh, I don't know if you can see where I'm clicking, but like adjacent to the river, on the right side.
So you want to be on the right side of the river
Not the
Yeah.
left.
and adjacent to the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You mean like right here, for example?
Well, I was thinking a little bit further down. There's a kind of a clearing spot.
Like
Kind of a
here?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh no, further up.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Huh.
That seems like a sumptuous spot.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, all right. You put down exactly there. In fact, your escape pod slides. There's a little there's a small grassy hill that goes down to the river and slowly becomes a sort of rocky, sandy shore. And your escape pod practically slides into position down this hill and into the soft landing of the pebbles and sand, several yards from the water. Perfect
I
landing.
I imagine that it kind of goes to a stop, opens, and then I immediately step out like I was walking the entire time.
Perfect. Yes, you do a. It's a beautiful landing.
Is it like
And
one of those? Would you describe it, Graham, as one of those like Indian action movies where like they'll hit the car with a rocket launcher, but he'll open the door when he's driving and sort of just walk out while the car's like spinning off in another direction, sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. I just walk out as if I walked in from the other side.
All right. With that resolved, we then have to cover the next person upwards, which would be Dr. Talios.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Talios, you are quite high, as a matter of fact, because there was quite a gap between you and the first group.
Yep. But I would also argue that I have literally no control.
Yeah, no, you're right. You pretty much no control, except you don't actually use your hands with this interface.
Smash my face on it.
Your face is squished up against this screen. You still have the capacity to make the attempt.
All right.
So all the same series of events happen for you. The tractor beam shuts off. You regain control of your escape pod. It takes a picture of your landing site and tells you that basically it's going to try and land you in that huge green clearing next to the spooky giant structure that clearly was the source of the tractor beam.
All right. I'm gonna try and land here.
Another north. Okay. You you're much higher up. It's a difficulty 8 to get there for you.
I also have a -2 on my roll, so.
You have a -2 on your roll. I'm also going to say that's another -1 for how crammed you are. You still have the capacity to control, but it's not as easy.
Well then.
Oh, that's a not very good roll.
No.
So now I need
Half of the course, as far as I'm concerned. He's pretty squished
now
in
I'm
there.
going to need you to roll.
Doctor, he
your,
falls in the ocean and dies, drowns.
I'm going to need you to roll a 1d20.
All right.
A lucky roll here could totally make up for your
13.
previous. Okay, let me just check. My not
I see an explosion in the distance.
Ooh, okay. So not the best roll that you could have hoped for. You make it at least towards the edge of the sandy circle that surrounds that mysterious and threatening area.
Okay.
And as you approach that, you see an outcropping of rocks that borders that on the northern edge.
So that shit in the circle is rocks? Is that what you're saying?
No, that is not. It's actually on the northern edge between the exterior of that sandy ring. That sandy ring, you don't really have time to look right now, so I won't describe it in detail. However, at the northern part of it, you can see as you approach on your viewfinder, your escape pod is heading towards just some rocks.
Okay. I only see
so-
trees, though, on this map, so...
Well, it's not a perfect map because I made it, not a computer picture of a real place. It's an approximation.
All right, cool. I take your word for it then, GM.
Yeah. All right.
I believe that there are rocks there.
Oh, I'm touched by your suspension of disbelief. We now go live to Gifka, the last person to leave the ship. You have by far, you had to even walk back up a hallway before you got into an escape pod. You have by far the most time to assess the situation when your escape pod comes back online.
Okay.
You do get the same map, and it does have the same It wants to put you down in the safe grass of that center next to the spooky structure.
I think I would want to put down around here, like by the river, but somewhere where landing wouldn't damage me or the pod.
All right, so that is going to be a difficulty 8 for you.
Okay.
What's your command, out of curiosity?
-2. I don't have any points in it.
Oh, shit.
6.
Okay,
But
I
it
need,
didn't
you
have
to roll,
-2.
I need you to roll a 1d20.
Hey.
20. Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm definitely going to go north. That is definitely the best place to land, you say to yourself, for obvious reasons. However, you're
south.
so high up that your escape pod happens to be caught in the blast of the explosion somewhat from the ship. Your escape pod is peppered with a little bit of shrapnel. And you find that some warning lights come up on your escape pod. And they basically say that several of the maneuvering thrusters have gone offline. But they're still trying to follow your command to go north, which means the maneuvering thrusters are firing, but you only have some of your maneuvering thrusters and not the ones that you would have wanted to go north, and you start going south dramatically. You
Fucking machines,
go,
right?
you go, you go so far south that you cross the river that moves from the west to the east on the southern edge of the area, that sort of ring, and you land in the forest
Jeez.
around here.
You're not marking anything on the map when you do that.
It's here, yeah.
No, I pinged. Yeah.
You need to change your color, man. That
Yeah.
that was almost invisible to me.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on a sec. I'll make it a really noticeable color. There we go.
Okay.
I'm also having a little bit of lag, so that doesn't help. I have to click way longer than I should have to. Anyway, you put down perfectly, though. However, you land in a lovely little clearing that is not pictured on the map because the map is not, again, perfect. It's an approximation. For example, there aren't only like 400 trees in this jungle. There are probably more like 4,000.
Okay.
But you land in a perfect grassy clearing, which means you're nice and safe. Do you want to describe your exit of the escape pod in any way?
Double backflip.
Just step out.
All right, you step out of the escape pod.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah, well, you're Legion. You don't do fancy.
Nope.
We return to Caswell,
Oh boy.
who finds himself just about to land in a large patch of sand in the middle of this jungle. You collide with the sand, and it's quite a soft landing. Too soft, perhaps, actually.
Oh boy.
There's not very much that gets kicked up when you land, as you might expect, colliding with a pile of sand, and you get the distinct impression that you are floating, or a similar sensation. Your escape pod, as before you can even react, begins to sink.
Shit. Quicksand. All right.
I submit to a cold death.
Well,
Let's get
Yeah.
the,
Just
get
let
the
it
fuck
happen.
out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here,
all right.
yo.
So you try and leave. Do you try and recover anything from the escape pod before you leave, or you just say, "Fuck it, this is just dangerous. I just need to
Is
get
there
out."
is there even anything in there that I care about?
You got a rifle, don't you?
Well, there is. Importantly, there is the actual map of the area that you're in
Oh shit.
that has been is on sort of a handy dandy survival data pad type thing that it kind of wants you to have.
Right.
And the escape pods are designed for people to crash land in places and at least have some chance of survival.
Is this?
There's
Is it like a?
communication here.
Okay, so is that like all in one? Is it like a tablet that also doubles as a communication device? Like.